Hi, I'm Jeff Ludy, the owner of Houston Window Experts. I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video today. I have a good new friend of mine I want you to meet. This is Mark Gallagher.
Hey,
Mark,
Jeff.
Thanks so much for being here. Mark is the sales manager. He covers the entire U.S., I guess maybe the entire planet.
Seems that way.
For Eurowall. Eurowall, if you've watched any of my videos about Eurowall, and I'll put a link right here to the Eurowall family of products, you can go check it out. You'll see that this is one of the most amazing product lines that I've come across when it comes to going big, right? And you know in Texas, everything's bigger. So it's either go big or go home. Thank you for visiting Texas. Where do you live?
I'm in Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta, Georgia. Okay, all right. So thanks for coming from Atlanta. Thanks for coming. He showed up on a 103-degree day, 116-degree, what'd you say?
116-degree heat index.
Heat index, yeah.
Thought I was going to melt.
Yeah, so we're standing in the beautiful showroom that we've created here on 38th Street in Houston. And if you live in Houston, we'd love for you to come by and take a look at all the Eurowall products, also the other brands that we offer. We offer over a dozen brands of windows and doors to choose from. Oh, and by the way, if you don't live in Houston, but you're looking for a great window company or looking for somebody who sells this product we're about to talk about from Eurowall, go to Jeff's List. There's a little link below, jeffslist.com. I have a list there of great window companies, people that I know can do a really good job helping you find the great window and door that you need for your project. Okay, so today, I want to talk about a couple of things about Eurowall. Number one, you're based out of Florida.
That's correct.
Okay, so what does that mean automatically to anybody who lives in Florida when it comes to buying windows and doors?
Well, what we think about is environment and harsh conditions down there. So we know if we can build a product that can withstand those harsh conditions for Florida, we know that we can build a product that will withstand anything the U.S. can throw at it.
So it's pretty much saying if you can build it for Florida, you can put it anywhere.
We can build it anywhere.
Right, and we have Galveston here, which is a windstorm area.
That's right.
And so stuff that works in there, in Florida, obviously passes our standards here as well.
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay, so Miami-Dade, Broward County, these are tough places, not just because you have so much wind load and things like that, but also because you have people who have a beautiful view and they expect big.
Right.
Right? I mean, what good is a product that keeps you safe, but it's only this big and you can barely look out of it, like a federal penitentiary window?
Yeah, I don't want any part of that.
No. So your customers are demanding big, and they're demanding quality.
Exactly.
And then they're demanding, of course, expectations regarding the environment, right? Because
That's
it's salt in
exactly
the air.
That's it.
Crime, is there any crime in Miami?
A ton.
Okay, all right, so it's got to be secure.
Exactly.
All right, and then are there any beautiful people in Miami?
Loaded with beautiful people.
Okay, so you got to have a beautiful door.
That's exactly
right. Okay, so we're looking at it right here. We've installed this in our showroom. It took a while to get it because you guys have to prioritize, and you got, what is it, Beyonce? I think Beyonce got hers already.
She did.
Michael Jordan got his. Okay, so then I was number 3 on the list, being a window guy. And this opening here, and it's hard to even appreciate it on the camera, but this is 16 feet by 8 feet tall, and most window companies, not all, but most window companies would need to make this in how many pieces?
3 to 4 pieces.
3 to 4 pieces, right. In fact, if you look through this window and door to look at that door back there, you'll see that that's a 4-piece. That's a real common thing to see, correct?
That's very common, where you have the 2 panels that bifold or split in the middle and open up.
Exactly.
That's very common.
So what we wanted to demonstrate here was that you guys can go big and still meet all the requirements that we need. How big can you go? These are 8-foot panels.
Exactly. I can go 14 feet tall and a little over 7 feet. So what we've done here is we've turned this on its side a little bit so we can go there. But if you want something that's 14 feet, I can go to right about here. I can get a 7-foot panel, which is still massive.
Okay, so if I had, for example, I had a 20-foot opening, or let's call it 21 for easy math.
Right.
21-foot opening, I could have a 3-panel, 14-footer?
Yes, sir. Up about where that light is.
About where that light is. And wait a minute, and that would actually pass the Florida standards for impact rating for hurricanes?
It would.
Okay. All right. So we know we can do big. I guess I can stop talking about big. Let's talk about small.
Right here.
Right here.
Right.
Now, how do you guys do this?
Well, you said something interesting about the heat. And, we know it's hot here in Texas. It's hot everywhere right now around the U.S. So we're not really so concerned about opening it up. But if we have that money view or we have that view that we're very proud of and we want to look at, we don't want to be looking at a big hunking piece of metal.
Yeah.
We're talking about an inch. So you can imagine.
No, wait. I'm going to correct you on that. I know you're the national sales manager. 15/16. Yes, 15/16.
So we're getting precise. So 15/16. So you're looking at 15/16 by 8 feet. So now it's not what you're looking at, it's what you're looking through. So you're going to look through now and you're going to see that view. You're not going to see big pieces of metal.
You make a good point. You know, like I sometimes, I forget to say this to people. People don't look at their windows, they look through their windows.
Exactly.
Now, granted, when you first buy your window, you're going to stand there and look at it. But the idea behind a good window is you don't see it.
Exactly. It
You know,
disappears.
You know what the idea? I had to buy a water heater the other day. You know what the best water heater they make out there?
The one you don't have to think about?
The one that you turn on the faucet and it's hot water.
There you go.
And you never have to call a plumber. Because those things will always fail on Labor Day weekend when it's snowing. Now, if it's snowing Labor Day weekend, you should probably move.
Or it's your turn to take a shower.
Or when it's my turn. Yeah,
That's
when it's
right.
my turn. Okay, so we covered big, we covered small. But tell me, how do you get that so small? Because most window companies, most door companies, they're going to have at least 3 inches here. At least. Some of them are going to have 4 or 5. And then the panels aren't as big, which means you have more panels, right?
That's
Back
exactly
to the whole
it.
panel thing.
That's
How do you do that?
Can we open this up real quick?
Yeah, right here. Let me do that.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, look at how that glides. What does that panel weigh, do you think? That's laminated glass.
You're talking about 8 pounds a square feet, and
Okay.
that's 8 by 10, so that's 80. So
640 pounds?
640 pounds that he just pushed with a finger.
Wow, that's nice.
So Jeff had talked to you guys about how did I get here this morning. I flew from Atlanta on an airplane.
Okay.
Airplanes are made out of aluminum that is a tensile strength of T6.
Okay.
So if I can fly at 36,000 feet, this thing is T6.
It is?
Look how thick that is.
Wow.
So that's where the beef is. The beef is
Okay,
inside,
okay.
it's on the inside.
Okay.
So, and then if we need to really hit those high design pressures for those wind zone, what we'll do is we'll reinforce it with some steel too.
Oh, so you can even reinforce, where does it go, inside of here or something?
Inside, yes sir.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that piece right there, we'll
Yeah.
put that steel inside there.
Okay, so here's what I think is the beauty behind also you basically just did a pivot, like in the concept of my mind when I saw this for the first time. Levi, who's in another video, went into this with me, but like they went this way with this panel so that you see less of it. A lot of window companies use the same materials, but they do it this way. And I'm
Right.
like, why?
Right.
Okay, so granted, if I'm going to argue their point of view might be, well, yeah, I don't have this thing sticking out here. Well,
Right.
I'd rather have this sticking out here
Right.
than have this thing sticking into the house, right?
Because I'm looking at it this way. I'm not looking at it this way, which there are companies. Could you imagine having 2 of these pieces side to side, having almost 6 to 8 inches of aluminum before you get to see glass?
Yeah,
No thanks.
yeah,
I don't want
yeah.
that.
And also what I think is smarter about it, the way they did it is, if I put this way and the wind blows on it, I have less strength. Now granted, this is heavy. I don't think
Right.
this would flex anyway, right? But for testing purposes, when you blow against this surface like this, I have less strength that way than if you did it this way.
Right.
It's kind of like your rafters in your house, your 2x12s or whatever. They're not flat.
No.
They put them vertically, right?
Right.
Because that's where you get the strength out of it.
The strength. That's
Okay.
exactly it.
Okay, so now while we're holding this piece, this happens to be, by the way, this bottom piece down here. That's what this is right here, right?
Yes, sir.
Right
That
there.
piece right
Yeah,
there.
that
Yes,
piece right
sir.
there. And I can see that you've got this weather stripping under here. I can see how this is all constructed, etc. But I notice that this actually has wood on here. Can you talk about that?
So, for that customer that maybe wants the warmth of wood, we can actually clad that. And the clad we can use is a sapelli mahogany or a white oak. Those are standard.
Okay.
So you can get mahogany at the same price you can get oak, which is pretty nice.
Okay. So this is real wood,
This
but
is
it's
real
not.
wood.
We're not talking like this is not a 1/4-inch board.
No.
This is a veneer.
And you can see because we're having to turn corners, we want to keep that nice, tight, and precise. So it's a nice veneer that we're going to get it snug and close to the aluminum,
Okay.
and that way it's not going to peel. We can make sure that it's going to be there forever.
And I don't even see a seam on it except
No
for well,
seams.
I mean from one piece to another, but you didn't have to make a seam on this corner.
No,
in
we
order to do
were
it.
able to follow the contour of the aluminum.
So let's suppose that I have a homeowner who hires a designer, right? And the designer says, I love this this bronze look for the outside, or
Right.
black, or whatever.
Right.
But sugar, honey, that's what they say down here. This ain't gonna work on the inside, not with that beautiful sofa we just ordered from Italy, right?
Right.
So I can order this with this wood veneer, and then I can select any one of a million paint colors
Right.
and paint this the color I want, correct?
You get your contractor, goes to their local hardware store, they get that chip and they can get whatever color they want, and now they can paint it and have what we call in the industry either a two-tone or a split finish.
Split finish, okay. Now, if I understand right, you've just recently added, and I'm so glad you guys are constantly improving and upgrading your systems. You've recently added a split or two-tone option that actually would not be wood on the interior, right? You can actually do
That's
two
correct.
different finishes. Tell me about that.
So it's very labor intensive. So what they'll do, before the unit is actually assembled and the aluminum extrusion is still the full lengths, what they'll do, we'll take this to our paint guys, they'll tape off one side and then they'll spray it, and because it's a 2605, which is a Kynar finish, this is baked in an oven.
Okay.
So comes out, lets it dry, lets it cure real quick, and then they'll take that tape off, they'll tape the other side and do it again.
So you're doing it twice, but you get to use 2 different colors.
Right. Issue is lead times. You know, everybody's concerned. When am I going to get my product? When am I? So if someone is not in, you know, they want their product right now, and they want that split finish, this is the best way to go because they get this with standard lead times and they can paint it.
I got you. Okay. So, but if I said I needed 2 different colors and I did not want a painted interior, I wanted a 2605, AMA 2605. Just Google that so you know what it is. If I wanted an AMA 2605 finish on the inside, you guys can do that. I can expect a little more cost. I can expect a little bit longer lead time. But hey,
you're going to get what you want.
I'm going to get what I want. And you know, when you deal at this level of quality and this level of clientele, they usually get what they want.
Right.
Right. I mean, price is on the list, but it's not at the top of the list. If you're looking for a cheap sliding door, skip. I got more videos about that somewhere else. You don't want to watch the rest
And
of
Jeff,
this.
the thing that when you said the AMA 2605, the important thing is because if you are in that coastal environment, that's a 10-year warranty on that finish, which is kind of unheard of.
In a coastal environment.
In a coastal environment.
Yeah. And if you're in a non-coastal environment, you're going to get a long time out of that.
We're going to be here forever.
Okay, so this is that track that sits down there on the bottom, right?
Yes, sir.
And I just want to make a quick point of that. I love this thermal brake here. Remember, we talked about thermal brakes. Did you watch my other videos about thermal brakes? Check out the video I have about premium aluminum versus not so premium aluminum, and thermal brake is the deal. And you can see here, huge thermal brake. You guys have done a great job of trying to separate that heat from the cold.
That's right.
But tell me about this little dimple riding track right here and kind of the story behind that.
Can we borrow the wheels?
Yeah, let's do that.
So this little dimple, as you can see here, it's going to follow the indentation or the Roman arch of the wheels for the track that the door is going to ride on. The nice thing is that you're going to get 4 points of contact on that wheel at all times.
What do you mean 4 points?
So because we've got 2-2, 2-2, it's riding there, so that way we get smooth operation. That's how this door operated so easily. See how it's moving?
Oh, okay, you know, I never quite understood that when they say 4 points. So what you're telling me is, let me see if I can, hey, it's like when kids are playing with toys, right? Maybe you can see that on the camera there, but I'm going to get right to the edge. Can you see how, like, I actually have full 180-degree contact right now on the wheel to the track. So I've got a left side touching, a right side touching. I would call this an 11 points of contact because even the wheel part, the arch part, is also rolling. So instead of putting all the pressure into a smaller surface, you're putting the pressure, spreading it out, kind of like a caterpillar does when it's digging in a mud hole, kind of like an elephant does with those great big feet.
That's right.
Right. And so we're spreading it out over a larger surface, and there's 2 of these on each panel. So that means I have contact points 1, 2, 3, 4 places this direction as well.
Right.
Correct?
And the construction of this wheel, I wish you were here and you could actually feel it. It's Kevlar.
I know, I see that. Yeah, it's a nylon Kevlar hybrid is what I understand.
Yeah.
And the way it just spins on here and rolls on here is just really amazing to me.
And why is that important? Because a lot of manufacturers will use just a regular nylon wheel.
Yeah.
And for a door this size and this heavy, or even just a regular door with regular tempered glass in there, over time it sits there and it gets a flat spot. So if you've had a flat tire in your car, you know what that feels like. Da-dunk, da-dunk, da-dunk.
Yeah, you can feel.
You've heard it in your sliding glass door. Yeah. Well, this will keep that from happening.
So not everybody will do this, but just so you know, this track down here, if you see where this surface comes up here, they can actually, this can be where you fill all of this in with your wood flooring or whatever flooring you're doing, tile flooring, flooring here, flooring there, where it's pretty much all you've got is this little
dimple.
nub, just a little nub sticking up, little dimple sticking up. And then of course now you got to deal with water, right? Because of course you should have a big covered patio for this, right? But you guys actually make kits where this water can be plumbed out from the sub-sill, right?
And we'll do that at the factory. It's not something they'll have to think about or try to calculate. We will provide this water management kit if they ask us for it. Super, super important. As I like to say, people ask me all the time, how do these doors perform in the environments? I said, well, when they're open, they all perform the same. Water's coming in. But when it's closed, this water's got to go somewhere. I don't care whose door it is. You can see in the closed environment, this is still going to be exposed
That's still
to
exposed.
water.
The outside is still exposed.
So water's going to sit in here. Well, what are we going to do? How are we going to get it out of there? We're going to provide a water management kit. So that way this is going to be placed about every 16 inches or so. And that way that water can get out.
Will stay out. Okay.
So this will come out of the sill, tie into another
Into a main
tube,
drain of some kind?
into French drain or somewhere else that's on the property, and
Okay.
we'll get it out of there.
Okay, all right, so that's really good to know. All right. Security, we talked about security because it seems like, I mean, I hear it on the news all the time.
It's rampant.
Things aren't improving, things are getting a little more difficult. Now,
Right.
I don't know if you noticed, but like in Houston, we have a lot of energy people here. A lot of times there's travel involved, so maybe sometimes a house sits vacant for months, right?
Right.
Like Exxon, for example, sent like one of my customers to Saudi Arabia. He was there for over a year.
Right.
Right. Another one of my customers, he went to South Africa, and his wife, she was left home alone for
thanks.
sometimes a month or two at a time.
Right.
Security can be a big concern. Now, I know you built this door to be secure against storms,
I'm more concerned about B&Es.
but there you go, break and enter.
Yeah.
All right, so I like that you have, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points of locking on this. You call it, what is it, a multi-point lock? Is that what you guys call it?
Right, and most companies will have a 3-point lock.
Okay.
One at the top, where the handle on the lock set is,
Okay.
and then one at the bottom.
Okay.
We've got 5. What does this do for us? Obviously, in a wind condition, it's really going to help. But I'm more concerned is, it's Friday night, you take your
Yep.
wife out for dinner.
Yeah.
They see you pull away, they're thinking, oh God, we got us one.
Well, you know what? You better use my skylight because you ain't
Right.
getting through this door.
That's exactly it. So not only with the 5 points here, but then
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
glass.
So thank you so much for reminding me of that, Mark. So not all window companies do this, but they have an option on theirs where we can go dual pane, which is very common, where you have an outside pane and inside pane, and then you have dead airspace. Or they can say, no, sir, we're going to go with one glass unit. Now it is still 2 pieces of glass,
it is.
but they're sandwiched together with what's called a PVB, a polyvinyl butyl liner. Correct?
Actually, it's something different.
It is?
It's
Okay.
something, a product made by DuPont called SGP, Century
SGP.
Glass.
There you go.
It's more rigid. You can
Okay.
actually fire a 9mm at this, and it won't penetrate that inner layer.
Okay, so we're not going to put that in the documents because for liability reasons.
Right.
But in theory, right?
We played with it. Yeah.
You've played with it. Okay.
It's very strong, and not only for B&Es and all the other things we've talked about, but it also helps reduce sound. So
Well,
if
of course,
you got that dog that's outside that's barking,
Yeah.
the air conditioning
Right.
that's going to kick in, the
Yeah.
the neighbors cutting grass.
Right, right.
You don't want to get woken
or
up
even if I
early.
just want to go to bed and the people are still hanging out by the pool, right?
Having
This
a
is
good
gonna
time.
help. Okay, so just so you can see on this, and I hope you can see, that I've got outside finger, inside finger here. Look, that's 9/16 of gap between those two. Okay, so this is not your typical 1 inch. Most of the time on a door like this, it'd be 1 inch from the outside to the inside because there's dead air space in there, and it'll have argon gas in there, which helps with insulating. But here's what we've learned, and this is what I like, is that I'm not going to get a seal failure. I'm not going to get fog between the panes of glass because there's nothing between the panes of glass, right?
That's exactly
I've got
it.
my SGV,
SGP.
SGP. Thank you. So very, very strong, very durable. It will not fail like a traditional double pane piece of glass would. It reduces sound, right?
That's correct.
And the only negative, if you want to say there is a negative, but they've compensated for it, is it is heavier.
And the one thing I would love to do, I understand you like to destroy some things.
Yeah.
So I want to send you a piece of this inside a frame.
Okay.
I want you to take a crowbar to it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to
Pretty
do
cool.
it. I'm going to have that sent to you so that way you
All
can
right.
take a crowbar to it and you can let your people see how hard it is to get through
Okay.
this.
Okay, we've got him on tape for this, right? He's going to send me something we can break. You know we love to break and test and destroy and see how cool stuff is. All right, is there anything else, something that maybe that we haven't covered here today?
I can't think of anything.
Okay, so this is my last question. Who is your client for something like this? And I don't mean brand names or specific names. I was joking about Beyonce and all of that, but I mean,
It's
is
anybody.
this a luxury market product?
No,
Wow.
and that's the thing I love because this product is so reasonable and the way it's priced, anybody can have this. This isn't for the high-end home. They're in the high-end homes, but you know what? They're also in that home, like my home, which
Yeah.
is a 3-2.
Yeah.
It's a normal home. It's not anything fancy, but it's a door there.
3.2 million or 3-bedroom, 2-bath?
3-bedroom,
Which means- okay.
2-bath. And it's a door that I'm
Wait a
proud
minute,
to
maybe
have.
he is charging us too much for these doors.
No, I wish. But no, so it's for anybody's home. We're not exclusive. We're that's the thing that we pride ourselves on, is that this is for everybody.
What I like, in addition to the fact that it is attainable, right, is that it is super luxurious, super well built. But the person side, the people side of it, having dealt with you guys and Levi and just the whole company in general, your approach is customer satisfaction.
That's it.
And you and I could stand here today and name some of the big names, and you even know a lot of the big names. I think you might have even worked at some point with some of the big names. Yeah.
Yep.
You get so big, you get so cocky, you get so arrogant that you just kind of forget about this is still people. I mean, These are people buying these things and putting them in their home. And what I've loved is, and we haven't had any issues, but what I've loved is that any issues that we might have, you guys have promised us we're going to stand behind the product. We're going to do whatever it takes to make it right. And that works for me because I'm a small business owner, right? I bump into people all the time, all over Houston, and they say, hey, thank you. We enjoyed buying our windows from you. Great story. Thanks for standing behind your work. And that's important to me. And the fact that you guys will do that, I know is important to you too.
And it is, because you know what? We're expected to deliver the product this way. We're only judged on how we handle a situation if one does arise. And we pride ourselves on getting that situation taken care of quickly.
It's been a great pleasure talking with you.
Thank you so much.
I'm sorry this video went a little long. If you watched all the way to the end, put a comment down there and maybe I'll give you a free Houston Window Experts cap or something for putting up with us. Don't forget, if you live in the Houston area, please come by and see us. And if you don't, you're looking for a great window company, check out jeffslist.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. I'll talk to you again real soon.